Contrary to popular opinion, the journey of becoming begins long before conception. And this is why preconception nutrition is your nutritional status before you even discover you're pregnant. Contrary to what many people believe, your pregnancy journey is determined by how healthy you are before you got pregnant. And this is why. Before you get pregnant, you need to ensure that you are fertile. You being fertile means that for the man, you have healthy sperm. For the woman, you have a healthy body to grow that baby in. So yes, it is true that your nutritional status before pregnancy affects how healthy and how smooth the pregnancy journey will be. Welcome, this is Nourished with Ruth, and I am Ruth, a registered clinical nutritionist based in Kenya, working in a hospital setup. And today we are going to be talking about preconception nutrition and talking about the 5 main nutrients that you need to be aware of, that you need long before you discover you're pregnant, long before you even start trying to get pregnant. When you start planning for it, you start as soon as then. Are we together up to that point? So kindly hit the subscribe button if that sounds like something that interests you. Share this video with other people that you know, your friends, people that are trying to get pregnant, people who would be interested in getting pregnant, or trying to make babies, because the health of your baby, the health of their baby is determined long before the positive pregnancy tests. So in today's video, I will be using notes because I have done research, because we need to have evidence-based information out here for everyone, for you to learn and know what is important. So to kick us off, we are going to understand what is preconception nutrition. Preconception nutrition is your nutritional status before pregnancy. So when you start trying for the baby, you don't have a positive pregnancy test yet. That is what we call preconception nutrition. Why is it important? It is important because it determines how fertile you are, how easy or difficult it's going to be for you to get pregnant. It also helps boost the stores that the baby will be using and create a healthy environment for the baby to grow in. Hope you're together up to that point. So in today's video, we start with what are some of the most important nutrients. Not to say that there's any that is better than the other, but there are some that we need to focus on for the role they play at the end of the day. So the first one we're going to be talking about is folic acid. You wonder, why is folic acid so important? In Kenya, we call that IFAS. That is a mix of iron and folate. So we start with folic acid. Folic acid is important because the first 3 to 6 weeks of your baby's life, post-conception, they need folic acid to help prevent neurotube defects. Alright? That goes also for ensuring that their face forms fully and everything else. Is that okay? So what are some of the neurotube defects that we have that we need to be careful about? It's something like spina bifida, where the spinal cord doesn't form completely. So at the end of the day, that is a baby when born with spina bifida, they will always need a wheelchair for the rest of their life. You get? So you want to prevent that by starting to take your folate way before you're pregnant, so that when the baby comes, they find enough stool, and that means that your baby grows and is healthy. We together? So where do we get this folic acid? From foods. We get it from green leafy vegetable, our citrus fruits. What are citrus fruits? Things like oranges, tangerines, and fig fruits, all that. We have nuts, legumes, and fortified cereals. Fortified cereals is when you buy your cereals, it should be written fortified with folate or folic acid, depending on what you're buying. That could go for flours or any other cereals that you're buying out there. Now we move on to iron. So for iron, it helps ensure that you have enough blood in your system, because at the end of this day, once you get pregnant, there is an increased blood volume. The increased blood volume needs enough of iron to support both for the mother and the baby, and also it helps prevent anemia in the mother. Are we together? So where do we get our iron from? Our iron is gotten from dark green leafy vegetables, our proteins, and especially animal proteins, because it has heme proteins, heme iron, which is readily absorbed into the system. So what is heme iron? Heme iron is what is found in red meat. So if you're trying to boost your iron levels, your HB, what you go to the hospital and you're told your HB is low, you have to take a lot of green leafy vegetables, red meat, and a lot of legumes, all that. Not to say that white meat is exempted, it's only that heme iron is a little bit higher in red meat. Hope you're together up to that point. The next thing that we need to make sure that we are taking is our calcium. So if you ask me, before we move to calcium, so if you ask me what is this legume that when I take helps me ensure that I get maximum iron, beans and lentils top the list, and then, but you remember our red meat comes before that. So we move on to calcium. Calcium is for both for the baby's bone formation and their teeth, and that also goes for the mother, because when you don't have enough calcium, the baby will still take, and they are going to take it from your stores. So for the mother, what you do, you take a lot of sardines, that is what we call omena in Kenya. You take a lot of cheese or dairy products. They have a lot of calcium. That's why we say milk is something that is important for babies to have strong teeth and bones, because of the calcium levels in it. Okay, so the fourth one is choline and iodine. So these two are nutrients that are very important for brain development and thyroid function. The thyroid function of any individual affects their metabolism, so you need to ensure that you're getting enough. And that's why I say, even for babies, especially after you start feeding them, it is quite important for you to add iodized salt to their food. Yes, a pinch, but remember, don't skip it at any given point. So you can always have supplements, or it's very high in foods like eggs, fish, and dairy. So those are things that you take on a daily basis, so just don't skip that. And then finally, you take your prenatal supplements, especially when you have low stores. If you're not able to get it from food, take your prenatal supplements and continue taking your food. So don't take the supplements and forgo the food. They go hand in hand, but you can have your food if your stores are just okay without the supplements. But it's important for you to just check your stores so that you know that you're having enough. So remember, in men and women actually, we do emphasize on getting zinc. Zinc is from things like oyster, and it helps boost semen production and overall boost the fertility in women. So your zinc supplements still would come in here, ensuring that both men and women, both the man and the woman, as you're trying for a baby, your zinc levels should be okay. All right, they should be at the level that they're required to be at. So this will help ensure that The man is producing semen that they need to produce that will allow the sperm to swim in, and then it also increases production of testosterone in women. For women, it just boosts ovulation and fertility. During ovulation is when a woman is most fertile, so that's the importance of zinc. So if you're looking for specific nutrients to check, if you're struggling with fertility, these are the nutrients that you need to check for. If you find that you have a family history, these I repeat, if you find that you have a family history of children being born in your family with things like spina bifida, that might mean before you get pregnant, you need to check your levels, and you might need an extra dose of what you're going to have for that particular time that you're trying to get pregnant, and even during the first few months of your pregnancy. The first 2 months of your pregnancy, you need to make sure that you're getting maximum folic acid for you. So I hope that is helpful for that. The other thing is just ensure that you have a general diet, and a general diet is diet that is quite healthy. Let your diet be diverse. Let it not be made up of just the same foods over and over again. Why? Every food has what it has, that is nutrients and that is minerals and vitamins that ensure that your body is functioning well. For example, for calcium to be well absorbed in the body, you need vitamin D. That calls for you to take a lot of what do we call them, cereals. If not that, for you to go out in the sun, or for you to get your vitamin D levels checked and maybe get your vitamin D supplements based on what your levels of calcium are at that particular point. For your iron to be well absorbed in the body, you need to take it coupled together with vitamin C rich foods. That's why we say when you're taking your iron foods, rich foods, you make sure you're also taking vitamin C rich foods. But now also we go and understand that this is preconception nutrition. These are the things that we need to do pre-conception for you to have a healthy pregnancy. But there are also things that we need to avoid, right? We start with the first thing. When you're trying to get pregnant, kindly lower your caffeine intake. I'm begging you, lower your caffeine intake. Any chance you get, lower it. Why? Caffeine intake, high caffeine intake. I didn't say don't take caffeine, I just said lower it. High caffeine intake is known to influence fertility by lowering it. So if you're trying to get pregnant, you don't have to be taking 7-10 cups of coffee every day. The other thing is alcohol and drugs. They are harmful to the developing baby. You can birth a baby who has alcohol syndrome and all that. So basically any drugs, tobacco, anything that you are thinking of, any drugs, any substance that can be abused, don't. For the health of both you and your baby. And then taking raw foods, and especially raw and pasteurized foods, especially things like meat, milk and all that. Kindly be very careful to prevent food poisoning, and also ensure that you're not getting food bacteria that now we have to start treating, and those are now just complications that will come in to your diet, into your pregnancy. So you don't want such complications. Are we together? So anyway, with all that, I think I have given you an overview of what you need to know when it comes to preconception nutrition. For anyone with specific questions, I always leave my contact info on the screen. Come to me, reach out through email, reach out through WhatsApp. I'm always available. I'll get back to you. There's always a consult, depending on what you're consulting on and what you're asking. Some I'll respond for free, some might require a consultation fee. We start off for the first 10 people who come in, my first 10 clients, I'm going to give you a consultation fee of 500 shillings, and then we move on from there. So let's recap. Why is it important for us to have a preconception nutrition right? One, it's to ensure that we are improving our fertility so that it's not difficult for us to get pregnant. And then we build nutrient stores so that the baby has enough stores to take from, and then reduce pregnancy complications. Basically, that's what we want. Everyone wants a smooth pregnancy. Personally, as your nutritionist, I want you to have a smooth pregnancy. Your preconception nutrition also influences your weight and all that. So basically, I want us to have a very smooth pregnancy where you're not worried or stressed about things that could be stressing you, otherwise. So, and it also helps support healthy fetal development so that you are assured to some extent that you're going to have a healthy baby because you took all the precautions. If anything happens at the end of the day, you did your part. You have no one to blame. And then you can't blame yourself, that is. So finally, it also prepares the mother's body for the demands that are coming, because yes, pregnancy does take a toll on us women. So prepare your body. Okay, so let's just recap. What are the nutrients that we talked about? We talked about you need your folic acid, you need your iron, you need your calcium, you need your choline and iodine. And when things are not working out, or just for precautionary measures, take your prenatal vitamins. And that does not take away from you taking your diet. That's why I did mention the foods that are rich in these nutrients that I just mentioned, to ensure that you know that you have the option of not going to take the supplements. So until next time, guys, see you, and kindly reach out, hit that subscribe button if you got this far. Why get this far and not subscribe? And remember, the journey of becoming starts long before conception. This is Nourished with Ruth. I am your registered clinical nutritionist, Gakubu Ruth, and I'll see you next week. Bye bye.